Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're now tuned into the one and only place where you can get what's needed on your plate along with what's going on in your hood. Candy Lady's gonna keep you up to date with events going on round your way. What's really good? SC by Black locally. Keep them dollars circulating in your own community. It's the SCBBL show. You're now tuned into the SCBBL show. Rock on. Rock on.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the SCBBL show. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are beginning our Fridays with Fathers, and this is our very first episode. And I could not think of anybody better to start this episode and series off with than my daddy. Hey, Daddy.
Hey, sweetie.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. So I call you Daddy, but tell the world what your name is and a little bit about who you are as an individual.
My name is Ronald David Pringle. I'm from Ridgeville, South Carolina. And I'm happily married to evangelist Pastor Cleo Pringle. And I have three daughters, Candace, Anita, and Rhonda, and one grandbaby, Carmen. Welcome. And I got a whole host of other grands, and I'm not gonna go into all names by now, but I think of Candace and Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a whole host of them. I can't call them all. Anyhow, I'm pop out a whole bunch.
Awesome. So what do you do, Daddy, outside of being a dad and what you just talked about? What are some of the things that you do? Like, if people know you, they may know that you are a...
Well, I guess a lot of people look at me and a lot of them don't really know who I am because I'm just an ordinary, everyday person. And for one, I am a child of God, and I'm a musician.
The baddest.
And I'm a mechanic. And I'm a carpenter, I'm a plumber, do all of those things. And I thank God for it because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
So basically what you're saying is that if you ask him to do something, he can do it.
That's right. And, I don't take a backseat to none. And I just go head all in. Whatever I do, I give it my all, and I enjoy what I do, being a handyman.
Yes. So if you see my daddy eyes and you look at my eyes, you can see where I got it from. Most people say that I look just like him. But that's up for debate because some people say I look like my mom. So I think I'm just the perfect mix in between the two of them.
That's a good thing.
So Dad, some of the questions that I got, it probably doesn't really apply to you, but you can give your answer or your perspective on some of those questions. And I'll ask it in a way that it kind of pertains to you. So a lot of people didn't grow up with the fathers in the home or with their fathers in their lives in general. And some of them would like to know just why did they walk away? Well, since you don't fall in that category, my question to you would be, why did you stay within your family?
Why did I stay in my family?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's love. And I was longing to see the day that I see my own offspring. And you happen to be the firstborn. and you brought all joy and laughter and love to make our family. And then after you come Anita, that was more joy, and after Anita, there would come Rhonda, more joy. I'm happy go lucky because y'all came into our life, and it just made our house a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't take nothing for y'all. I wanted a little boy, but the Lord blessed me with all girls, and I love y'all more than anything.
Aww. Do you think it's true that girls give you gray hair?
Oh yes. Look at me.
Awesome. So do you think that your upbringing helped out in any way with the way that you viewed your own family?
Yes, because I had great parents, and always had a father in my life, and he was my dad, and he was my one of my best friends, and we grew up and we did things together, and there's a bunch of memories that I have of my dad and my mother, and it just triggered on down, and it showed me how to be a man and to take care of my house,
Right.
take care of my wife, and my kids, and just don't cross me and my children or my family, that's my heart.
Right on.
And but for you got to have somebody to take an example of, a good example, and I had a good father, and that caused me to be a good father.
Awesome. I agree. So do you have any friends that you probably talk to and they're not in their kids' lives? Or I wouldn't even probably call them friends, but associates or whatever. Everybody's story is a little bit different. Is there anything that you would say to that about like what they said to you about probably why they were unable to stay within the home with their family? Is there anything that you would say to that?
Actually, I would say I don't know of anyone that close to me that I can talk to, or that I can, pass the word on, or, be of some encouragement to somebody. But if I, catch a young man on the side and I know if he got a kid, I would tell him, go and take care of your child, man. Even if you and the parent, you and the mother not together, she didn't have that child by herself. And, go and do the right thing, be in that child life, do what you can for him. And that'll help him catch a grip and, stand up straight and walk straight and no pants dropping.
I think a lot of people think that when you get married, everything is going to be all peaches and cream. And when it's not that, fairy tale, they're like, I'm out. And they go and they try to do the same thing over and over and over again. So what was it with you where you decided that any trials and tribulations that me and my wife would go through is not enough for me to just say, hey, let me go and find a new wife and start all over again?
Well, first of all, when me and my wife started off, we became good friends.
Number one.
And when you can become friends with your spouse, it leads right on into the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can find somebody you can tease and cut joke with, and don't let the feelings on the shirt sleeve or whatever, hey, that's a plus.
Right.
Then you just continue to grow into that marriage. And no, marriage is not all peaches and cream. You got to learn how to give, and you got to learn how to take,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't it's no more individual. It's us. Then it's y'all become one. The two of y'all become one, and you got to share everything. You know, your finance, whatever. You got to share. Don't be go to work and some wives don't even see their husband check. They still got separate bank accounts,
Mhm.
but not me. And I'm not ashamed to say it. My wife, she handle all the business, long as I, long as the money coming in
Mhm.
and my bills getting paid. I'm just happy. And if she was working and making more money than me, I would be extra happy, super happy. But I can't. I don't. I never could understand that because some people get angry if their wife make more than them or whatever. They just me and my wife get along like two peas in a her, and I thank God for.
I think that's the key thing that you said, being friends.
Yes.
Because when I was big on that, I have friends over here, and this is my boyfriend. And I never put the two together. And I know that that's why my relationships didn't go well in the past because I never even made them a friend first. It was just like, I'm dating this person. And it wasn't like a development of the friendship. But as you grow up, you learn from, your choices.
Yeah. And now she can almost read my mind. She has got that instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how well she know me.
Yep.
I think she know me better than I know myself. Yeah.
Yep. Doesn't she pack your clothes, pick your clothes out?
I don't have to do nothing.
But that's a good thing because that shows how you guys, that ties into another point of one of our topics, which is balancing. There was a point when mom was working, but then she retired because she got hurt on the job. And she was able to come off of her job because you guys are so well at partnering that you told her to just come on off the job and let you take care of going out and getting the bread. And while you're going out and getting the bread, she's at home making sure that everything within the home and as well as the person who is the breadwinner is well taken care of.
And that's another thing. If you find the right partner,
Mm-hmm.
somebody you can trust, and not going out shopping when they're supposed to be taking care of the bills, or going getting with the girls, or whatever, and going hanging out. It's not gonna work like that.
Yep.
You got to have trust in your relationship, and that's the
Yes.
keynote: trust.
Yes. I think Taurus beat me to it. He said happy birthday. Your
Who?
nephew. Taurus.
Jeanette.
Taurus, your nephew.
Oh, okay, okay.
He said happy birthday. Yes, y'all, daddy's birthday is tomorrow, and the series just happened to start the Friday before his birthday. So he loves crab legs. So if you want to get in touch with him on how to send him some funds, you could probably send it to Mama at Apostle Cleo, so he can get some crab legs. Taurus also said, "Open your eyes, Daddy." He told both of us to open our eyes.
Tell him thank you.
And
Tell him
Keisha,
that's all I got.
I know, right? Keisha says her husband shops for her and she's good with that. Yeah, it's all about balance. It's not about, a lot of times we grow up with this idea of the white picket fence and the man is supposed to do everything outside. The woman is supposed to do everything on the inside. And we grew up with all of these fantasy fairy tales in our head to the point that marriages don't work because when we get in it, we see that it's not that way. It's more about you knowing how your partner is and whatever your strengths are, you work on those strengths. And whatever the weaknesses are, you kind of help that person to strengthen in those areas. But whoever is more willing to take on that task, whether it be inside or outside of the house, and just, whatever works for you, right?
And it's nothing that's that I wouldn't do. You know, I cook, I wash, whatever comes at hand. I'm not too high to do it. You know, and I sweep, but whatever I work in the house just as hard as I work on the outside. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ours. You know, like I say, we are one. You know, it's not her house. It's not my house. It's ours. You know, it's our yard. It's our everything. You know, so you know, whoever come first, just jump in and do it. You know.
Definitely. So, Daddy, what do you think? Some of the things before you had kids, you wanted to make sure that your kids were built within to make them whoever you had them pictured as, in your mind. What are some of the things you really wanted to instill in your children?
I just wanted them to be successful. You know, I wanted them to have the best. You know, I wanted them just to be in the number. You
Mm-hmm.
know, standing up straight with the head up high. You know, and just making it in life, catch a grip,
Right.
and you know, just like a child learning how to ride training wheel bike. They put them training wheels on there until you see them can sort of master that thing, and then after a while, you take the training wheels off because they can sort of like balance themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And after about, I always watch my kids, and I, you know, look at them, and you know, and I, you know, I had to, you had to back me off a little bit, you know. You know, I was always there, you know, because if I see you leaning too much this way, I would prop you up that way. And
Mm-hmm.
if I see you dragging a little bit, talking, then I would throw my opinion in there, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, and I still do it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I wanted for my kids, you know. And, you know, I'm very proud of my children
Yep.
because they got good heads and, you know, and they're balancing, you know.
Yep.
I can't ask for no more.
Awesome. One of the things I can say is that even though we didn't do it exactly the way you had it in your head, we still, I think, are coming around to that point. It's just that in life, as parents, we have to give our children space to live. And I said something to you a long time ago that you always bring up to me. Do you want to tell people what I said?
Well, yeah, I sure can. Because I never forget it up until this present hour. Well, like I said, I would, it was hard for me to let go. And, you know, that hurt me to the heart. You know, this young lady right there, she, I was voicing my opinion to her, and she told me, she said, Daddy, you done live your life. Now you let me live my life. And that thing cut my heart in half.
He didn't talk to me for months, y'all.
And I really backed off because I wasn't expecting that. But you know, you have to learn that your children are individual also, and you do the best that you can to bring them up in the way that you know how and the way that you think they should go. And you know, sometimes you just got to let them go until they bump, until they see themselves. And you know, I got to that point because I had to make a decision in my life when I was the age, and I could have been a drug addict or drunk or whatever, but you know, I had to make that decision to be to want to be a man and have something, get something out of life, and to be one in them also, you know. And but I thank God I could have been cut off and gone,
Right.
and I had to make that decision, and you know, the same goes with our kids. You got to know when to back off because you know they might not mean to hurt your feelings, But you wouldn't think it hurt if you was as close as I am with my kids, you know. And it hurt my feelings, but it made me see too, you know. And but I love her. I still love her. I love her dearly for that because I had to, you know, you got to learn, you know.
Yeah.
They grow up. They become young ladies themselves. And now
Mhm.
she blessed me with a grandbaby and something I'm very proud of, you know.
Yeah.
And right now I'm like a hog on my grandbaby also. And I guess one day she might tell me, Papa, this is my life. I got to live my life.
Right.
But I'm sort of preparing myself, and I got a little hard up, you know, and I'm prepared for whatever comes, you know. Nothing surprises me anymore.
I think getting more into some of the juicy things. I think we did pretty well with with you guys' values. I think out of our value system or the value system that you had set in your mind was tracking. Like that was something that you said I didn't do that, and my children shouldn't do that. And if you guys don't know what shacking is, that's living with a person before you marry them. And so that was one of the things that it was just like, why do you have to do that? I didn't do that. And all of these things are a part of relationship building because it's more about, even though you don't do it the way that I saw you do it, and I might not like it, and we might bump heads about it, at the end of the day, we still love each other. I'm still your child. You're still my father. That doesn't tear our relationship apart. And I didn't have a child out of wedlock.
Did you actually? You was asking me a question just now.
I was just saying, no, it wasn't really a question. It was me just stating, like, a part of your value system. Those are some of the things that I think that didn't fall within your value system. But when it comes down to like your relationship building, you don't allow differences of opinions to tear you apart.
That's right. I had to get to that point.
He's grown a lot, y'all. He's a
I
a
had
whole
to.
different person.
I had to get to that point, and you know, my upbringing was much different, and you know, the decision you sometimes you see your children make, you might not be all with it, but like I said, you got to get to that point. They are grown. You know, you did your part. You know, you got them up to an age where they can stand and make their own decisions, and you know, you just got to back off. You know, a lot of things I've done, and you know, my parents might be wasn't too pleased with it, but that didn't say, you know, they never stopped loving me, and you know, I never stopped loving y'all for y'all decision, you know, because that's your decision, you know, and I did my part. So wherever your destination might end up at, that's your that's your decision. That's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
And but the love and the relationship will never die. Never.
Yes, I love you too. Let people see what your shirt says. That was one of your birthday gifts. It says, being a dad is an honor. Well, Father's Day gifts. There you go.
You
You
see?
see how he wears the badge on his chest? I see it. I got it. Yes.
It's an honor
Yes.
being your dad. Being
Oh,
your dad, it's an honor.
finally being your child.
Yeah.
So, Dad, is there anything else you would like to tell people about just your experience, your life experience, and things you learned along the way, and not to give up halfway through the battle?
Yes, I don't care how bad it gets. Sometimes in your marriage or whatever relationship, sometimes sometimes you just have to sit still and look at the whole situation. Don't be hasty of making any decision. Just sit back sometime and watch, and you count up the cost. Is it worth me walking out? Is it worth me starting all over again? And I'm not saying, if you're in a abusive relationship, to stay there. That would be foolish because, you know, so many things happening. And but if you're just having a little misunderstanding, there ain't nothing for you to just jump up and or jump in the car and take off down the road. You could get killed or something. You could leave the
Right.
house mad and go into bed and don't apologize. You know that that is you. Your
Yeah.
partner is you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no. They say men don't cry, but real men do cry.
That's
Real
right.
men have feelings,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you hurt your spouse, you're hurting yourself.
Mm.
So and vice versa. So I'm just hanging on in there, and a lot of people say marriage, ain't the thing these days. But I think that's the best thing that ever happened to me because we on 35 years,
Woo-hoo.
and it's well, I wouldn't say it was. Our marriage was we everything went Sunday, but the good outweighed the bad,
Right.
and that's what caused us to still be together today
Mm-hmm.
because she pushes me and she support me in every way, and I tried to do the same for her, and
That's right.
where I'm leaning, she propped me up. Where she leaning, she propped me up. Where I'm aching, she rub me. Where she aching, I try to rub her. And it just I enjoy my life this
That's
far,
awesome.
and I thank God for my children and my grandbabies and my grandchildren. And I thank God for everything, all of His blessings. That I just sometimes you just look around and you can sit and count your blessings, name them one by one,
That's
and
right.
that's what I do. You
Mama
know,
said, "Don't let the sun go down on your wrath."
that's right. Apologize. Get that thing right before you go to sleep because you might not wake up. You know,
Mm.
don't go to bed angry.
Yep.
So make it right before you shut your eyes. That's what I tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I know I did wrong and hurt my partner feeling, I'm gonna get it right. Before I go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not run out the house angry or whatever. Your little temper might flare up here and there, but pull that thing down real quick. Before you might say something you will regret.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, it's nobody is all that or more holy than thou. That if you're a human, your little temper rise here and there, and so got to know when to pull it down. You know, when once that word leave your mouth, you can't pull it back because that word will leave your mouth. It's going to do that damage that it was intended to do. It's
Mm-hmm.
too late then. You can't take it back.
Right. And there was a point, so it's kind of transitioning again. There was a point in life where in school we couldn't be in ISS without somebody saying, "Oh no, not the holy people, not the holy men in no trouble." Not we were around the turn because y'all were just, up there to people with like your love for God, your love for, being in the church. And now you have a child who is married to a woman, and a lot of people didn't understand how you guys were able to look beyond that and still have a relationship. And one of the things I really commend your mom on is that you allow real transparency, because at the end of the day, if you don't understand or know everything about me, then you're not really in love. I am for real. You're in love with the idea of who you thought I was. And so I really commend you and mom for loving your children beyond what you envisioned for them. And I think a lot of other parents need to get there, because they're in love or loving their children, not really knowing who they really are. And then later on down the line, things start to come out because you can only fake a lifestyle for so long. You know, when the real you comes out, it's like it causes a ripple effect down the wrong path, because you're trying to find different ways of expressing yourself because you're not being true. And so I think that's one of the things that I have a lot of respect for you guys for, is that we mature and we grow together. Like, yes, we are grown now, and after a certain point, it's like we all had to grow together on other levels of life. The way we review our spirituality connection, the way that we live our lives, everything is a little bit different from how it was. So what do you have to say about that to folks who are, like you said, so high and mighty that they think they know their children, but their children are somebody totally different, but to them they're one way, and to the rest of the world they're somebody else. But for us, we are who we are, and y'all know exactly who we are, despite what people might believe. Y'all know exactly who we are, and our relationship remains the same.
Again, just like you said earlier, I had to get to that point. I wasn't always where I'm at, and like you said, on at the end of the day, you're still my child. You know, and that don't change. You know, like I say, the decision y'all make is y'all on y'all, and why should I? I had to get to that point. you know, why should I put my child out, or stop loving my child because of the decision that they make? You know, God bless me with y'all. That's who God give me, and whoever y'all choose or whatever, I had to love them too, because that's your
Mhm.
partner. And I don't dislike nobody. I got love in my heart for everybody, and I really had to search self, because we are all God's children.
Mhm.
Because if God stopped loving us for all the little undermining things that we do, we'll be in bad shape,
That's right.
And we all God's children. And whoever out there listening, I hope you all take it in. And if we have to judge anybody, let's start with self. Judge yourself before you look at
Say that.
anybody else or try to point the finger at somebody else. And
Mhm.
if you serving the God that I'm serving, God is love,
Mhm.
and which we should be love also, because we are all heirs of God, and we be little gods, so we should be full of love.
That's right.
And you can't turn your nose up at nobody. And one of the scriptures that we all falling short of the glory of God. So yeah, you better search yourself. You can't look around and turn up your nose at nobody. If anybody turn up your nose at yourself, because you
Mm.
need fixing.
You better.
Yeah. And I had to get to that point, and I thank God for allowing me to I don't know why He put us through this, but anyhow, that was
Yeah.
one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
One of my pet peeves, and I thank God for peace of mind today. You know, because I love you all, I love you. I love your spouse. I love all the spouses. I love
Mhm.
everybody. I got a peace of mind. I got peace in my heart.
That's what
I'm
matters.
happy.
You remember my friend with the purple hair, the purple afro?
Yeah.
Still, she said, "Come on, pops."
Yeah, I'm happy. So if I'm happy with you in my heart, I'm happy with everything. I'm happy with everything.
That's
I
what's
don't
up.
have the power. I don't have the power to change anything. I'm trying to make it in for myself,
That's
and I
right.
pray. I mean, it was a young lady used to go to the church one time, and she used to sing the song. I pray that we all make it. I pray that we all make it, or something. How she used to sing that song, and I could never get the song together. And
Yep.
that's Sister Lane,
Yeah.
Sister Lane West. And she used to sing that song. I used to try to get that song. Pray that we all make it.
Yep.
Yeah, I pray that we all make it.
Yes. I think the last thing I want to touch on is education. You always had us laughing growing up that you barely made it out of school. And so when it came down to college, you weren't like really pressing on if we went to college, military, or you didn't really press upon that. But I think one of my real aha moments was when you decided to
We
go to
all be
school.
ready.
Mama said the song is "I pray we all be ready."
Yeah.
Pray we all be
Pray
ready.
that we all be ready. Yeah.
I think one of the turning points I realized how smart you was when you had to go to school because you wanted to become your own trucker. And as you were studying for your exams, you had me test you. And I was like, Daddy, you answer all the questions right. Like, you're really smart. And I think a lot of times children don't really get to see the fathers in the educational realm of like reading a book or studying because you guys are always grinding and things like that. But you guys made sure that we kept our grades up. And if it was a problem at the school, if you needed to come in, you came in there, you got and things like that. So, do you have any advice on the educational side of the house that you want to touch on?
Well, I'd like to say, don't ever cut yourself short, because if you make up your mind to do something, you got to go make that decision. Once you make that decision, then the door is open. All you got to do is walk in it, and you can do whatever you want to do if you decided that that's what you want. And I had a job, uh, 12-hour shift, and I decided that I didn't want to do that job anymore. And I had another plan. I wanted to drive truck, and that called for me to go to school, and school is one of my pet peeves. And I had to buckle down, and it wasn't easy, but that's what I wanted. I didn't have to walk off my job. My wife didn't have a job. I didn't have a job, and we had bills. We had kids in school, and you got together, and you know, the four the four of y'all took me to the airport. I mean, to the bus station,
Yep.
and that was the hardest thing for me to do. And me and my wife never stayed apart.
That was so weird. So,
And and I got on the bus, and I just look out the window, look out the window, and I said, Lord, it was a faith walk. What am I doing there? I mean, and I went out, and I had to buckle down because I didn't have a job, and I didn't come this far, and the devil tried to fight me, but I had to keep my cool, and keep my balance myself, and get down and get it. I
yep.
wanted that plastic in my pocket because I felt that that was a way out. and a way to help me and my family. And I had to do it because I had
Yeah.
four little mouths back here waiting, waiting and needed help. And if a man walk off and leave his family, might as well tie a millstone around his neck, go to the depths of the sea, and that wasn't me. And I'm still here for y'all in any way I can.
Man.
And I know I had, and I'm not scared to tackle anything because all you can do, if it done broke, all you can do is fix it or finish tearing it up.
That's awesome.
Don't be scared of it. If it's yours, it's already broke. All you can do is fix it.
Yes.
Or just finish tearing it up and take it to the dump.
Choose you life or death. Which one you have a choice to make?
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
You choose to fix it or tear it up. Whichever way you want
to. Wow. But yeah, that was a real weird time because, like you said, you never been out of the home. So we were like, oh my gosh, is mom going to be able to handle the house? What if somebody break in? Like, what if Daddy's not here? It was real weird, but it was worth it. And I love how you said that, you walked away from something. So you didn't have anything to fall back on and you went full force, full-fledged. You wanted it in your pocket. And you wasn't going to take no for an answer. And I think that's where a lot of people have to make up in their mind that if you really want something, you go all in. And so I tell people all the time when they ask me, like, where do you get your energy? And I'm like, my daddy. I said, he's a hard worker outside, but I'm behind a computer screen and I'll go for hours until I pass out. And I tell people all the time, like, when they ask me, I was like, I get it from my daddy, so.
I don't know where energy come from. I just go.
And that's the same thing I say. I don't know where it come from, but I go until I pass out. So, yep. Well, Daddy, this has been fun.
Well, I thank you for choosing me. And I enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed talking and elaborating and just spreading the good news.
Yes.
You can do what you want. You can be who you want to be. You got to make that decision.
That's right.
And go all out.
That's right.
The opportunity is for everybody.
Yeah.
Like you say, you can either choose life or you can choose death. The decision is yours. So
yes.
Make the right decision.
Yes. Like everybody say, we all have the same 24 hours. It's all about how you spend it.
Exactly. There you go.
All right, Daddy.
I agree. Thank you for letting my grandbaby come over.
Oh yeah, she asked actually. Knew it was your birthday. Did you eat your brownie that she specially baked for you?
I ain't seen no brownie yet.
Yeah, she brought you a piece of brownie that she made for you.
All right. I'll probably find it when I go back in there.
Well, I love you.
I love you more.
All right. Y'all, it has been a real honor to sit down with my daddy. This is his first interview on South Carolina by Black Locally with his eldest daughter, me. And I hope that you guys have gotten a lot out of our first session with Fridays with Fathers. And we will see you at the next session on next Friday. Happy early birthday again, Daddy.
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right, it's your girl Candace signing off for South Carolina by Black Locally. And my daddy, Ronald Pringle, signing off as himself, as the musician, as the father, as the husband, as everything that he stands for in life. So you guys have a blessed Friday and enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next time.
SCBBL show. Rock on. Rock on.